Facts of Life, Season 5, Brave New World, Part 1. Taking a risk on yourself. Mrs. Garrett quits her job to start her own business. Is it time for you to begin a new path in life? Change jobs, start your own business, finish writing that book, get a new training certificate or degree, or relocate to a new place. You only have one life to live. In this episode, Mrs. Garrett is frustrated with her boss's, Mr. Parker's, unreasonable demands on her and has a strong desire to quit her job. Is it wise for her to quit her job without another option? Would you quit your job without having any other options? Mrs. Garrett was tasked with the responsibility of making a luncheon feast for Mr. Parker's wife. However, Mr. Parker kept changing his mind on a whim as to the menu of the feast without giving any considerations of how these changes would affect Mrs. Garrett. Now remember, this is the 80s when tape recorders were around. Mrs. Garrett got a tape recorder, she put a tape in it, and she taped herself speaking to her son Raymond, explaining her frustrations of working with an impossible, inconsiderate boss, and mailed the tape to her son. Her son, Raymond, visited Mrs. Garrett at Eastland. He took her out to lunch to present her with a surprise gift of a store that was for sale, which Raymond encouraged his mom could be turned into a gourmet food shop. This venture is right up Mrs. Garrett's alley because she is a dietitian and a caterer at Eastland Academy. However, Mrs. Garrett was taken aback at her son's offer. She explained to him that she could not leave Eastland because of her dental plan, her pension, and of course her girls, which included Blair, Joe, Natalie, and Tootie. She simply could not part from them. Now, I did mention that Mrs. Garrett has a pension, but please check out my other video where Mrs. Garrett was working for another company and her pension plan was in jeopardy. Therefore, she had to go to her boss, Mr. Parker, to ask if he could give her a pension plan. So watch that video to check out the riff of what went down with Mrs. Garrett seeking a pension plan from Eastland Academy. Now, in addition to her dental plan, her pension, and of course her girls, she also gets summers off. Why would she risk all of that for the unknown? Her son reminded her that owning a gourmet food shop was Mrs. Garrett's dream for years. He also took out a tape recorder and reminded her of what she said to him. He told her that she should quit Eastland. In her own words on the tape, she stated, and he played it back for her, "I'm so tired of being at the mercy of other people. If I were my own boss," and then the tape recorder stops right there. And I also want to stop right there as well and have this marinate in your mind. There are so many of you out there who have the same sentiments as Mrs. Garrett. You are so tired of being at the mercy of other people. This includes your supervisors and yes, even your coworkers. If you are your own boss, of course, each of you could fill in the blank for yourselves as to what you could do. Let's look at what Mrs. Garrett has going on for her. What does she have in her favor? Well, her strengths are she has her background as a dietitian. She's a caterer, which is a side gig that she was doing also at Eastland, like her side hustle. And she's also known for her world famous strudels within that Eastland school community. So she has a clientele that she could transfer to her new gourmet shop. And she also has transferable skills of being a dietitian and a caterer. What are the cons? She is now new to running a business. The store needs lots of cleaning and organization. Most of the girls are against Mrs. Garrett leaving Eastland because who would take care of them and who would advise them when she leaves? Now, Tootie did not hold back her tongue. Tootie believes that Mrs. Garrett, and she told her this, is too old to start a business at her stage in life. Ouch. Mrs. G decided to take everything into consideration and go into business for herself anyway, because she doesn't know when she will ever get this opportunity again. I should tell you that this marks a new season where Facts of Life moves from the dormitory and the cafeteria and now is filmed at Edna's Edibles shop. I believe from season 5, maybe up to season 6 or 7. After that, Mrs. Garrett leaves Facts of Life. What are your thoughts on this episode? Mrs. Garrett's boss, by the way, Mr. Parker, tried to get Mrs. Garrett to return to the school because, of course, the students missed her, the staff missed her, and they missed her cooking. This is also a case of people don't know what they have until they lose it. There are so many lessons to learn from this video. That's why I like the nostalgia of going back into the past and watching 80s shows and sitcoms. First lesson, Mrs. Garrett wants to change. She wants to start her own business. And just like many of us, she has this desire and she wants to go for it. But lesson number 2, when she's presented with the opportunity from her son that he will buy the store as an investment and rent it to her to turn it into a gourmet shop and catering business, she hesitates. Isn't that what we do at times? When our dreams are coming into fruition, maybe through anxiety, stress, or fear, or being overwhelmed, we hesitate on taking the plunge. So this is just human nature. Number 3, the girls were a bit self-absorbed. Yes, they were. Because they did not want Mrs. G to take the opportunity of running her own business and thus leave them behind. Although she did promise to visit them or they could come and visit her. After all, who was going to give them free counseling and advice and be a mother hen to them? So in this lesson, people who love us or people who are near and dear to us can sometimes hold us back from achieving our dreams. Not because they are fearful that we might fail, but because they are fearful that we might leave them behind. That's also another aspect of human nature. I believe this is number 4 or number 5, I forget. In this last lesson, let's call it the last lesson, there's also the issue of age. Tootie told Mrs. G that she's too old to start a business. So, whenever people venture into something new, they usually take into account their age. It doesn't have to be that you're too old. Maybe you could be young and you feel that people might not take you seriously as they would someone who's more mature. So age is a consideration. As we can see, these are some external and internal factors and conflicts that keep people from pursuing their dreams. Can you relate to this topic? Let's discuss this in the comments section below. Turn on your notification bell to alert you when I upload new videos. If you like the work that goes into these commentaries, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way and it encourages me to make more videos. See you in the next one.